Odds are, you've probably heard of the Walt Disney Company. I think I would be more surprised if you hadn't at this point. Whether you love them or hate them, you gotta admit that they have some interesting history. And here on YouTube, there are tons of content creators who specialize in that very subject. As a recovering Disney fan, I've naturally gravitated towards this style of content. People like George Browning, Yesterworld, and the most popular in this space, Defunctland, are making some of the most interesting and highest quality videos on this site. And as much as I could sit here and gush over how much I love these guys, it's not quite the point of this video, mostly. Before we get too much into the meat of this video, I just want to remind everyone that unlike the lovely channels I've listed, this is not a well thought out and thoroughly researched video. It is merely speculative, based off of this recent video by Defunctland, which will be linked in the description, about the history of Disney's first animatronics and the history of automatons in general. I'd highly recommend giving it a watch before you watch this video. Not only is it a great video, but it also lays the groundwork for this one.
1 hour later.
Alright, did you watch the video? Good, because we're getting to spoilers, if you didn't already watch it. Anyways, you've been warned. Now, on to the premise of this video. So, in the Defunctland video, it discusses reasons as to why Walt Disney was so hell-bent on creating a lifelike Abraham Lincoln animatronic, as most people at the time didn't really understand his motivations. Among the reasons, most interesting to me, was that it was seemingly because Walt Disney was an extreme control freak. To give a quick summary of the video, Walt Disney got very frustrated with actors and animators alike, whether because they couldn't understand his vision, or he was just resentful for his lack of ability in either feats. Walt Disney wanted absolute control over his projects. The Abe Lincoln animatronic presented a solution to these issues. If Walt could create a robot to perform exactly how he wanted, then he didn't need actors to do it. Additionally, Walt Disney joked about wanting to create similar animatronics who could simplify the animation process. Albeit they were jokes, but you couldn't help but wonder how serious he was. So you might be wondering, what does any of this have to do with AI and tech bros? Just give me a second, I'm getting there. If you're like me, you can't help but hear all of that and make connections to the real issues creatives are facing in regards to AI. Now, taking what we know about Walt Disney, I think it's fair to say that he would be pretty on board with using AI, should he have had the ability to do so. Now, claiming that one of the most significant figures in not just the history of animation, but art in general, would be 100% for AI is a pretty big claim. However, Walt Disney was a lot of things. A visionary, an animator, a businessman, but especially in his later years, a futurist. If the whole original Epcot idea is any evidence of that, the man loved to learn about innovation and how the world of tomorrow would look like. So then I ask you, how is AI usually portrayed nowadays?
Can push the boundaries of innovation.
Revolutionary technology, real-world results.
AI-obsessed tech bros are always pushing it in your face, and they won't stop reminding you of how amazing and innovative it is as a technology. Now let me tell you that if Walt Disney was around for the recent progressions in AI technology, he would have been obsessed. Not only would the spectacle of this futuristic technology draw him in, but it would solve way too many of his problems. Don't want to pay your animators by those fair union prices? Just replace them with an AI learning model. Pesky actors and scriptwriters got you all down because they have artistic interpretations? Just tell the AI exactly what movie you want and it'll create it for you. Has your preferred actor aged or died? Do you want that classic look to last forever? Just put their face in an AI model and get the exact wait a minute. Oh no. The truth of the matter is, we'll never know what Walt Disney would have thought about AI. Maybe he would have hated it. Or maybe he would have dedicated the rest of his life to perfecting it. Who's to say? What can be said is that the current Walt Disney Company seemingly doesn't have much of an issue with the idea of the AI integration, and on a surface level, I don't think there's necessarily anything wrong with that. The way I see AI, it's a tool that can be used to make our lives easier, like a fridge or a cell phone. It should exist to help us complete tasks that we find grueling and leave more room for creativity and expression. It should not, however, take the place of our creativity and expression. Because at the end of the day, an AI does not have either of those things. It is a cold, heartless robot. Art should be something that is perfected and created by those who will dedicate their time and lives to doing so, like real artists. And not to mention that a lot of AI programs are built off of dubiously acquired information and pictures, so take that for what you will. But at the end of the day, that's my take on the man behind the mouse. What do you think? Would Walt Disney have been an AI tech bro? Let me know what you think in the comments. And shout out to Defunctland for inspiring this video. Check out his channel and the others I mentioned, and please give them some love. Thank you all for watching, and remember, as the great Walt Disney said, if you can prompt it, you can do it. I mean, dream it. Whoops.